This magnificent aluminum monument at Kikorongo is placed on the second highway spot where the Equator crosses Uganda. The other more popular but less imposing spot is in Kayabwe in Mpigi district. Unveiled 2 weeks ago near Queen Elizabeth National Park, the monument stands tall and imposing, its polished surface glittering under the sunlight against a backdrop of attractive savanna vegetation.
We want to salute the government of Uganda. This is value for money from the taxpayers now. We can see where our money is now going finally in the tourism sector. We only pray as leaders who are transformational that there shouldn't be corruption now in this sector of tourism. This time, I think some of us will command the front line of corruption in the tourism sector this time as leaders.
Hundreds of tourists and travelers passing by this spot are forced to stop and take a picture daily.
People have been, the taxi guys are always disturbed. When they reach in the direction of the Equator, the passengers get excited. Sometimes they tell the drivers to stop a bit, at least have a look. Sometimes even they request them to allow them move out shortly.
According to Jackline Besigye, the Acting Commissioner Museums and Monuments, the Ministry of Tourism is considering turning this spot into a revenue generation point.
We are already seeing the impact, which is very positive, because the communities and before I go to the communities, let me say from 23rd to 30th of August, we recorded those who are recorded, because we haven't fully started documenting all the numbers or even asking people to pay for selfies. We recorded 3,400 people.
The monument is part of a plan by government to develop all monuments in the country.
And among these, we have, of course, in Tutsi, we have Kayabwe, we have Demfo Island, we have Chiruhura, there is also a point, then we have around Lake George, at Kayanja Ntara.
There are 13 countries around the world where the Equator crosses a main road. Uganda has the biggest part since the Equator crosses the country at various points along 23 districts on both land and water. So why did the ministry develop Kikorongo first?
We started with Kikorongo because the colonialists or the colonial government initially had put a ring, which ring was destroyed by a truck in 2018, 2019.
The unique design cost 1.5 billion shillings to set up, and according to Besigye, the government hopes to recoup the money spent on this investment. Although it's not clear when, the ministry plans to introduce fees for taking pictures at this spot.
I wouldn't go beyond 3,000 for both, for all tourists, because if you calculate, for example, now we are talking in 7 days, you have more than 3,000 people. And so you have these 3,000, even if it was 1,000, you're sure that there is a return on investment.
The trading center nearby is also reaping from the exquisite establishment.
The tourists who come here, they will definitely be able to consume other services. Like we've had our lunch from town, other people will come and sleep here, but there would also be need to put some refreshments, but also sell some handcrafts. Now this is a big place. And I have no doubt that in the next 5 years, this place is going to change because of this new development.
This is good for the tourism industry. This is good for Kasese. Many people have known Kasese because of wars and all that, but they do not know how beautiful Kasese is.
The ministry plans to construct other monuments which have so far been approved. These are the only parts of the world where the earth is divided into different hemispheres. The Ministry of Tourism also wants to develop 301 heritage sites across the country.
If you go to some countries like Norway, if you go to Egypt, culture heritage is the one that is selling the country. And so we think that if government can invest more in culture heritage, we know the domestic tourists will be more than even international tourists.
Sudil Biarhanga, NTV.